we will we will make it short and we'll keep it very contextual to the topic. You're all aware, ladies and gentlemen, that governments in the last few years have taken very transformative steps. Transformative agendas have been implemented, policies have been developed, and with transformation, digital governance, digital enablement becomes a big part of such transformation. Now, with all good things come bad things, and there are issues and challenges we all know about how digital infrastructure, digital stack that is being developed and created is also being utilized or say misutilized across the country. And the challenge before administrators, before governments, is to ensure that whatever digital infrastructure is created is inclusive, is secure, future ready, and also governments are that versatile and agile to imbibe newer technologies, because technology changes very fast, and governments are generally not attuned to such fast-moving developments and infrastructure and adaptations. So with this, I'll start off the discussion. We have panel that represents the entire domain of governance, citizen services delivery, and we would like to hear from them on their perspectives on how digital governance can be made inclusive and secure and future ready. So with this, I'll start with Mr. Silku. Sir, you are looking at labor and employment, and that's one of the core areas of impact on citizens, on governance, and that's obviously something that the political leadership also takes very seriously. How would you, define digital governance, its challenges in this area, and especially on labor, their health, their benefits, and on ensuring that employment generation happens? How is the government of Uttar Pradesh working towards ensuring all these from a digital standpoint?
First of all, thank you so much for inviting me to this conclave. See, I come from labor department. I'm currently looking after labor department. Labor is a segment which includes a lot of people. If we go by the definition, we all also comes under various ambits of different labor laws, like our working hours are determined by labor laws and all. But when we talk about labor, normally we mean that the blue collar workers. So even in the blue collar workers, the construction laborers, the organized sector workers, we have a huge database. If we talk about Uttar Pradesh itself, in UP we have a BOCW board which looks after building and other construction workers, and in that we have around more than 1.5 crore workers registered, and out of that around 50 lakhs are active workers. Right now we are also looking after gig and platform workers, organized sector workers, so that number currently there is a database of around 6 crore workers. Obviously it needs some verification, but even after verifying it will not be less than around 2 to 3 crores. So such huge numbers are there. And as government, we want to extend various kinds of social benefits to them. We want to provide various kinds of interventions in case of any kind of distress. Because when we talk about labors, that is one segment which is always migratory. They don't work in one place. They don't have a specific offices where they work. They are also pretty migratory. They travel across seasons, across states. So it is very difficult, how to identify, how to provide incentives to them. So in that regard, digital governance is very, very important, because now even Government of India is coming up with a system of a portal called 𝐃𝐢𝐠𝐢𝐭𝐚𝐥 portal. And it is envisaged that 𝐃𝐢𝐠𝐢𝐭𝐚𝐥 portal will be a unified portal for all the workers of of the entire country. And there will be a unified ID, a worker ID will be there, and that ID will be unique. So even if a worker is, let us say, from Uttar Pradesh, but that worker is working in Maharashtra, he has gone to work in Maharashtra, and there he is in need of some kind of assistance. Like in BOCW board, it is this board is present in across it is there in all the states, and almost all the states provides similar benefits, like maternity benefits, like death. Suppose some money is given on the death. Then you have so many skill development initiatives. So a lot of programs are there. But if a worker is currently from UP and if he is working in Maharashtra, so normally Maharashtra government offers incentives to those workers who are from Maharashtra. Similarly, UP also offers incentives to workers who are from UP. So when this digital ID, this common ID thing will be there, then that worker can be tracked, and even if the worker is from UP working in Maharashtra or vice versa, they can be given all kinds of incentives where they are actually working. So this unification is a very, very important innovation. It's a very important step in which is coming up in the digital governance. Aadhaar we did for the entire country, but we have not used Aadhaar per se for giving any kind of social benefits. But these labor IDs we are actually using, trying to use for providing all sorts of services. And one thing which I just want to add is that right now our governments are running different kinds of portals. But now we have gone a step beyond portals. Now we are not just looking after so many tech portals, we are also looking after AI enabled and these kinds of things. So now we are talking about how can we have a policy as a service. Now we want to include our policy itself in the frameworks, and those frameworks should be the unifying frameworks. It should not be linked to one particular department or one particular activity. Like a very good example is the ONDC platform, which has come up. And it is unifying all the sellers and like it is unifying the entire e-commerce space, and all the sellers and buyers are coming on board. So no matter if you are a seller and you are having a website, you will connect to the ONDC platform. And if you are a buyer, you will also connect to the ONDC platform. So it will be like an Amazon of all the different kinds of sellers which are present in India. So it's a very amazing technology. So these kinds of interventions are now coming up, and this is how we have to look from the governance side also. Thank you so much.
Right, thank you, sir. And I think as you rightly said, democratization, unification, and then ensuring right to service, be it laborers, be it workers, or be it common citizens, that's the need of the hour. Moving on to Madam Chandana. FinTech is emerging as one key area of interface with customers, citizens, and well, I'm not specifically talking about your portfolio in railways, but overall policing generally. Wanted to hear your perspectives on how these innovations in digital payments, verification, and we hear of the issues of digital arrest, etc. So how are these transforming service delivery from a law and order perspective?
Okay, before this, I just want to contextualize our discussions. There's a lot of talk about this AI revolution and all that. So I've been hearing from the intellectual circles that this is the biggest disruption in the history of mankind, a bigger one than perhaps the Industrial Revolution. So, we are told that 70% of the workforce is going to be displaced. What is the solution? As I see it, we are going to have redundancy. Redundancy is leading to all these layoffs and all. But is it a challenge? I would say it is an opportunity. It is an opportunity provided the leadership and everybody is having the right exposure to what are the possibilities. So coming to your question, FinTech, like in the areas of the domain in which I am at the moment holding my current assignment as GRPSP Railways, we have seen global innovations like one, UPI India. Today when we compare the lifestyle of Indians abroad and Indians in India, we say that we are enjoying a lot more because of this UPI revolution. So to enable ticket purchases, refunds and micro payments for station services and all, we are increasingly using this UPI. It is a great thing. FedNow of USA, Pix of Brazil, PromptPay of Thailand and other similar innovations. And we are also looking at the possibility of tap and go EMV cards. When you go to London, you have this Oyster card, Singapore MRT, where you are tapping the card for any mode of transport, and it's a lot easier for the commuter. And also QR code travel, where your journey data will be integrated with your payment account. So these things, if brought in India, it will make our lives much easier. And also cross-border online payments, where these hassles of currency are overcome, like EU SEPA, and also India-Singapore UPI Pay Now link. And we also have central bank digital currency models in China, India, Nigeria and EU, where in our context, railway staff payments, subsidy, disbursements, and all these can be made. Now let's come to the digital identity. Now we are talking about Aadhaar, and successfully we are using things like DigiYatra and all in airports. In railways also we can do the same. But there is a catch here. When we are entering the domain of digital identity, we have to have robust digital ID systems. Aadhaar-like models, but India is big, our population is humongous. Multi-factor and biometric used authentication is increasingly becoming common, but preventing identity theft and impersonation is a challenge, a big challenge. And for law enforcement agencies, we deal with it day in and day out. In Telangana, we have, amongst the emerging crimes, since your question is a little broad-based, we have two major wings in the police department. One is Telangana Cyber Security Bureau, and another is Telangana Anti-Narcotics Bureau. These two were established recently, and they're doing extremely well, because the major two new age crimes that we are witnessing are cybercrime and drugs. They're going to ruin the society. So we have been making tremendous efforts, and also there is a lot of innovation in these bodies. Dealing with cyber crime, we are trying to keep it very inclusive as well when we are trying to prevent it, and also expedite the investigation process and also the recovery process for the victims. So this is what in this domain, and global innovations I have covered. So yes, FinTech, we are looking up to it. That's what it is. Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And I think DigiYatra has given us a good platform for access control, etc. It's now been implemented pretty widely. So we'll look forward to what Railways does, especially in these areas, as well as, like you mentioned, on the payments and all other integration on the booking front also. So that's something, obviously citizens will look forward to. So
yes,
thank you.
You've asked me about the digital arrest. It is a fake concept. I mean, like, as in, you know that there is nothing like a digital arrest, but a lot of people keep getting calls. Not only this, every day a new concept of, a new type of cybercrime emerges, and we are caught unaware. Not just the illiterate, but everybody as in even police officers per se, they've been victims, and they have gone to file complaints. So the only way that we have seen by implementation in our state is prevention. Prevention is by giving them, by educating them as to how you follow your cyber hygiene and how you avoid such calls and stuff. So we are doing it in a big way, and I think efforts at the center are also being made. Yeah.
Right. Thank you. Moving on, Mr. Ahad. Sir, you're leading the BMTC, and wanted to ask you, as BMTC expands its services, including mobile ticketing, real-time tracking, smart passes, etc., and being part of the security and vigilance wing, how do you ensure data protection, fraud prevention, and the commuter safety in these digital aspects? If you could please throw some lights on that.
Yeah, thank you very much. Firstly, good afternoon, everyone, and I thank the government of Orissa and the organizers, and my greetings from Bangalore, Namma BMTC. Our app, because what question has been asked, our app has many solutions to the question. Namma BMTC, as the name goes, Namma means it belongs to the people, ours. Like Amchi, Mumbai, we call. It's Namma BMTC app. It has many safety options for the passengers. And before saying about the technology, I should say that we commute 45 lakh passengers every day across Bangalore with a fleet of about 7,000 plus buses of different categories. And we have 17 different kinds of concessions. And our data is protected by the government of Karnataka. We don't have, since it's a 100% government-owned body, corporation, we have very secure systems. Government of Karnataka data center, they take care of data protection. Everything is stored in those servers. So we don't look into that aspect. We look into the passenger safety. That is in the Namma BMTC app. There is a screen-based SOS system. If it is pressed, the message will go to various their contacts, including police. And there is also a physical thing. If some person doesn't know how to operate the application and all that, there is a physical button by pressing which about half a minute of video is recorded, and it goes to our control center, and from there our team responds to such a request. And we also we have displayed this 112, the emergency dial system of the police, and the police has covered the entire city with the AI-based camera systems. And we also have the CCTV cameras installed within the bus, so that behavior of our crew, it is noticed, analyzed, and we give them various trainings, including yoga and soft skills, all those things, which also adds to the wherein a technology helps the passengers. And today, I have come for a reason. In the evening, the Namma BMTC is going to be awarded for our very innovative project. I should thank Mrs. Deepa Sasikumar. She is a person who had this vision of helping the visually challenged people. They are able to, and with the help of IIT Delhi, Professor Balakrishnan, we are able to develop using the RFID technology. Am I mixing two questions?
No, please carry on. I think inclusiveness is something which is a key topic. Please.
I'll finish it once for all in just 1 minute, since there is a paucity of time also. So using that, I mean, a person who's the beneficiary, our brothers who are visually challenged, they will have a handheld device operated by battery. It has 2 buttons. The first button is to alert them if the bus has come, the right bus has come, because the speakers are fitted on the bus, and the speaker automatically gets on and tells which bus it is and where it goes, etc. And when they approve, the second button is of approval, then another voice system is activated which guides the crew, that such person who needs such physically challenged person, I mean visually challenged person. So it has become eyes of those who have this challenge. This project, Dhwani Spandana, it is called. Through Dhwani means sound. Through the use of sound, we are helping people those who need it. Once again, I thank you. I thank the organizers for organizing so well and giving us so many, nice facilities and inviting us here. And thank you so much from Government of Karnataka, from our Minister, Mr. Ramlinga Reddy, from our MD and the entire team BMTC, Namma BMTC. Thank you so much. Namaskara.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, and thank you for highlighting the key issue of inclusiveness. I mean, what is technology if it is not implemented for the most marginalized citizen, the people with special needs, or the people who generally don't get to get these services on a regular basis. So thank you so much, sir. Moving on to Madam Sharma. Ma'am, you are looking at, while you are looking at medical education, I would ask this question from the overall healthcare sector in the state. So, ma'am, in the state of Uttar Pradesh, what kind of technological and digital interventions from a governance point of view are being taken to ensure better healthcare service delivery, better healthcare education, not only in the urban but also in the rural areas, which we all know is a challenge. So I'm giving a slightly open-ended question, ma'am, so that you can talk about the sector in a whole.
Thank you for the question, Mr. Choudhury. I would like to first off start by thanking 𝐃𝐢𝐠𝐢𝐭𝐚𝐥, Government of Odisha, and 𝐼Louge Media for inviting us here. The DTC sets the bar high with every edition. Odisha is a beautiful state, Bhubaneswar is a beautiful city, and this panel gets to speak when a certain amount of fatigue has set in the audience. But I'd hope that what I'm going to speak about will possibly be found interesting. So I wear many hats, and I will therefore begin by speaking briefly about each of the hats that I wear. So I represent the government of Uttar Pradesh in my capacity as the Special Secretary Medical Education. But as the moderator requested, I would very briefly try to bring in the entire health and medical education scenario in the state of Uttar Pradesh. So I represent a state which has the highest number of medical colleges in the country, and we have one coming up in each district every year, and the state has a declared policy of one district, one medical college. We also have, I'm also from a state which churns out the highest number of clinicians every year and highest number of nursing and paramedical staff. Some of our old medical colleges, speaking in the context of AI and data-driven technologies in medical education, some of our old medical colleges and tertiary and quaternary care institutions have AI-driven analytics to preempt diseases and tailor the drug dispensation or the operation theatre surgeries to the needs of the specific patient. So we have, for example, made remarkable progress in the direction of preempting diabetic retinopathy. So from various diagnostic tools that are available and through the AI-driven software, we are able to look at the pictures of the retina and very accurately, sometimes to the accuracy of 90%, be able to find out hemorrhage or edema inside of the eye and determine in what percentage of cases will this transpire into diabetic retinopathy. So that is just one of the examples. Another example is the AI-driven robotics, which is being used in many of our older established medical colleges and higher medical education institutes. Also, the counseling of NEET that we conduct every year is secured with blockchain from end to end. So there is adequate redundancy. So therefore, if one system collapses, there is enough amount of data to not prevent the process from continuing. There is very minimal chance of data leakage, very minimal chance of malfeasance, and therefore it is a system that has been developed by our homegrown NIC. And therefore, somebody was talking, I think somebody from Arista was talking about how India is developing Wi-Fi 7 locally in the country. So NIC again, in terms of governance and intervention on behalf of the governments, has driven most of our efforts towards digitization and AI. So I would also like to very specially mention National Informatics Center for the kind of remarkable work they do with the governments. In terms of health, generally speaking, in Uttar Pradesh and in the country, there is a system which is called as eSanjeevani, which is teleconsultation. So our health and family welfare centers, our primary healthcare centers, are now equipped with kiosks with a screen fitted and a high-speed internet connection and a clinician sitting across the screen consulting with the patient in the remotest corners of the state. So which is a remarkable, and also drug dispensation happens completely digitally. So this is a remarkable intervention that has been made. Again, Abha IDs is digitizing of the patient's record against a unique ID. So therefore, for the migratory populations of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, it is a unique opportunity to be able to use the patient's data in a way that even if the patient migrates, there is adequate amount of data for the new consultant to be able to deliver to the patient the right diagnosis and the right medical intervention. The metadata from Abha IDs could also be possibly used by the policy makers to be able to analyze gaps in our policy making, especially in the area of health, and to be able to deliver the public good that is health more specifically. I think it is also indicatively could be possibly used by insurance companies to set their levels of premium, whether for Ayushman Bharat or for individualized insurance schemes. We also have what is called as hospital management information system. Again, end-to-end, secured with blockchain, adequate redundancies available to prevent the system from falling apart. Data is secured. It enables hospitals, especially quaternary care hospitals, to seamlessly manage OPD, IPD, drug and vaccine dispensation, and it enables an institution to optimally utilize their resources. So these are a few examples where AI and digital technology have enabled the government to deliver to the doorstep of the end beneficiary what is called a public good. So health, for example, education, for example, also physical infrastructure. The other hat that I wear is of the Additional Director Sanjay Gandhi PGI Lucknow, which is, like I was saying, one of the few quaternary care health institutions of the country. So we've moved from tertiary to quaternary care, and PGI is leading the brigade by deploying what is called as tele-ICU consultation. So they have deployed an entire department to enabling our remotely located secondary care ICUs and the intensivists that work with patients in, let's say, so sitting in Lucknow, an intensivist in Sanjay Gandhi PGI would be able to help an intensivist in, let's say, Banaras or Prayagraj maneuver through the various nuances of an operation theatre or a critical surgery without needing for himself to be physically present in that location. And very recently, I think all of us may have heard, in China, a surgeon has remotely operated a robot to operate upon a patient in a remote location. So this is, it sounds something which is slightly in the future, but it is happening in many of our higher quaternary care, tertiary care, healthcare institutions every day. So therefore, AI and robotics is an idea whose time has come. There is the other hat that I wear. I'm also Managing Director, UP Promote Pharma Council, which is incorporated with the mandate of promoting pharmaceuticals and medical devices, research and development and manufacturing in the state of Uttar Pradesh. And as my role of the MD of this council, we are developing Uttar Pradesh Integrated Medical Research Application System, which is again end-to-end blockchain secured. So the data, the kind of clinical research data which is very secure, which is often copyrighted, the patents are granted based on the kind of randomized control trials that clinicians carry out. So the data has to be very secure. So that was the first mandate. So this is the research application system we are developing, where both the sponsors of clinical trials and the clinicians or the principal investigators could scout around for researches that they could possibly host, number one, carry out feasibility through the software, number two. Number three, it is also a prospective clinical trials registry for the state of Uttar Pradesh. So once the software is launched, any research that happens in our state would be hosted on the software. And number four, it is also a seamless end-to-end submission of the protocol dossier of a clinical research. So we all know there are ethical requirements that a clinical trial must measure up to. So there is a protocol dossier that is submitted by the sponsor through the principal investigator to the institute before the trial subjects could be onboarded. So therefore, the ethical considerations that are to be kept in the mind before giving a go-ahead to a clinical trial will be hosted on the software, and the analytics is completely AI driven. So therefore the ethics committee will not have to go through the dossier themselves. There is a chatbot inbuilt into the system that will enable them to understand the nuances of the protocol and be able to, let's say, give out a declaration of acceptance or rejection. So this is the health department and medical education department and tertiary and quaternary care in Uttar Pradesh in a nutshell. And I would like to end by quoting one of the keynote speakers. He said, I think it was somebody from the NDMA, they said that technology is not a product, it is a statement of a government's interaction with the citizenry. So therefore, in Uttar Pradesh and in India, we are looking at delivering technology not just as a product, but as an intermediate step to the end goal of delivering the public goods of health, education, and physical infrastructure to the citizenry. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, and very, very heartening to hear the technological interventions that government of UP is taking in the space. I still believe that I think healthcare and medical education, that's seen one of the most impactful uses of technology in terms of service delivery to citizens. So thank you so much. Moving on to gentleman from OpenText India. I'm sorry I didn't get your name, if you would.
Prasun.
Mr. Prasun. Okay. So if you could tell us, from industry perspective, we've heard people from the administration, government speaking about digital public service delivery. From the industry side, and you are aware that these service delivery requires infrastructure, requires data, requires software, requires algorithms to run this. And all of these are susceptible, liable to crisis. And some of them are natural, some of them are man-made, be it infrastructure issues, floods, earthquakes, etc., or cyber issues such as hacking, data theft, etc. From the industry perspective, what do you believe would be a good practice or a leading practice which is globally followed for governments to follow to ensure that data, information, and these systems keep running even during crisis?
Yeah, thank you, Chandrabhanu. I think first of all, thank you, the organizer and government of Odisha, to give the opportunity and get me on the stage to share the point of view of the industry. I think this subject is quite wide and critical subject. I'll just pick up two things from your ask. One is the inclusivity, and second one is definitely the security part of it. Now, the governance 4.0, I think we are discussing the previous panel, which is more of an interactive governance, right? I think we have evolved over time the whole governance into that. Now, when it is interactive, I think it's important that whether the benefits of the services, government service reaching to the remotest corner of the society or every part of the society. So that is the most important part. Or it may be a smart city kind of projects where, Madam was talking about the, those kind of infrastructure being accessible to, special ability or maybe visually challenged people, whether we are making those buildings, roads in such a way or not. Now, when we come to the, the accessibility part or the, spreading the benefits to the society per se for the all citizens, very important is that because nowadays those, government projects are not, one of the days where it is taking the 1 year to conceptualize to launch. And now it is probably 3 months or 4 months period. And we are working with a lot of state governments and central government as well, where I see that, this particular benefit program should be there in 3 months. Now they have 1 month to develop the program and, 15 days to launch and another 45 days to actually give the benefits to the citizens. Now what we are trying, we are, helping a lot of state government or some of the central ministries is that we are helping them to see these applications which is being developed, and through the DevOps tool, it route, faster time to market, faster time to launch. And then when the actual workload coming, the user are, accessing it, then it is, the applications are ready. There is no surprises, okay? This is one part of it. Second part, I'll just give another example of, for example, income tax, e-filing system, where I think everybody, we submit our filing there. Now, if you see that probably, 3 years before, till 3 years before, there's always an extension of 3 months or 2 months, right? Month of June becomes September, October. Now, if you see that last 3 years, it has never happened, okay? Because earlier, that the whole portal was not able to take that workload of that, June end workload. Now, what we actually worked with the department along with the SI, and through the performance engineering framework, make sure that, that particular workload is able to take that workload of maybe, X amount of lakhs of concurrent use at that point of time. And then they, corrected the, application part of it and actually is going smooth. Similar way, I think, GSTN, which is the largest revenue earning department for central government today. And they actually do the similar kind of, testing or the similar kind of performance engineering. So eventually what I'm trying to communicate is that quality of service is something that which has to be enough so that when the users or the citizens are accessing it or the business per se, they actually able to use it properly. So that is one part of it. Second part of it is that I think ma'am has told and sir also told that there are a lot of information is available in different departments, right? And those informations are being used in different purpose. But there are also then interactive governance. You need to have a department to department information exchange. So there is a need to develop something called the single source of truth. Now, yes. Now, how you can do it? Now, you need some kind of content management, information management, tool which can actually, collect every kind of data into one place. Now, we are working with, I'm not saying the names now because some state government and one central ministry is where that particular, through our content management tool, we are developing that particular system. Now, that system, again, can talk to different applications as well. So this is the kind of things which definitely we can see the industry is coming up and there is a need for that. Third aspect, I'll probably talk about the security part of it, because when we are reaching out to so much of such a large population, so there will be always a vulnerability of the applications. So I think that data security is very, very important, and that is where I think we see that each and every project nowadays, the security part becomes top priority. Second part is coming the application security. I think this is one part. Normally, this become a reactive part, because after we develop the applications, then we try to secure it. But I think it has to be the left side. Now, security has to be started from the development stage itself. So this is one part also we are trying to, working with customers. And third is definitely the security operations, because you don't know from where the threat is coming. So more we go digital and more this. So security operations is something that, which again we are trying to using AI and automation. I think that is something is happening, and we are also working with customers today. And definitely the last part, which is the most important, is the AI part of it. But I think AI is a reality today, and everybody is using it. But yes, AI today, I can see that the uses more of a help desk, more of a chatbot, more of a robotic process automations. But I think it can do much more. I think the large language model is being used at a mass scale as a individual level, personal level. But I think the responsible AI with large language model is something that we are working on, and I can see the industry is also working with many customers today. So I think these are primarily the four aspects which I see that is very, very important, and these are the challenges we are facing.
Oh, thank you so much for that. And in fact, on the data point with the DPDP Act being notified, the collection, the usage, the storage of data, that's all becomes an added challenge and something that governments have to be more focused on going forward. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think you've heard all of our panelists, speakers talk about the respective domains, respective areas, and there's a lot that governments are doing to ease delivery, to improve productivity and improve service delivery to the citizens. And with that also comes up a lot of opportunities. So again, it's up to industry, up to academia, up to startups to take up the challenges, support government, help them in improving delivery, and that's a continuous effort which not only administrators but also as citizens, everybody has to kind of join hands and deliver. So with that, let me thank all my panelists for the wonderful points and discussion. Yes, ma'am, please.
Something to add. So you have your conclave theme as innovation, intelligence and impact. I think inclusivity, if added, could have been even better, because inclusivity is not an option. It is a compulsion, because in an AI environment, when we are perfecting the models, the richer the data, the better we get. So the more inclusive the data is, the better. So I think that's just a suggestion.
Thank you so much. That's for the organizers to take note, please. So again, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, all my co-panelists, and thank you so much for your wonderful insights, ideas, and thoughts. With that, I hand over back into the organizers.